course, promoting the consumption. Another area I want to highlight is the mechanization, irrigation, and post-harvest technologies that are reducing labor burdens and cutting food waste. We need to invest a little bit more in that and pay attention to that. Digital tools are also creating opportunities for precision farming, real-time market access, and youth engagements like never before. This is an innovative moment, and we must really take advantage of that digital transformation to make sure that it's also translating to these value chains of potatoes and sweet potato. But innovation alone is not enough. I always have to highlight this, that we must ensure that this transformation is inclusive. Women are the backbone of root and tuber crop value chains, from planting and weeding to harvesting and selling. Yet too often, they are the last to eat and the least to be heard. I don't want to count the numbers in this room, but I already scanned and I realize we are still not maybe 30%. So we must really think about that agenda. We must change that. We need programs that empower women with access to technology, financing, and a meaningful voice in decision making. And I hope we'll have some of our ladies, our women, trying to shape the decision-making and the discussions that will happen here. As we look in the future, let us not forget that Africa is the youngest continent in the world. Our youth are not a burden. They are a demographic dividend, and we need to harness that. Let us give them the tools to build careers and businesses around this crop through agri-tech, value-added processing, and climate-smart entrepreneurship. Potato and sweet potato must become crops of opportunity for the next generation, that is our youth. To truly unlock the potential of these crops, I want to highlight the power of strong public-private partnership that are all represented here. Some of the gains that we have made, no single institution can take credit alone. It is the power of partnership, right from the public sector to development partners to the private sector, everybody on board, and that needs to happen even more. We are encouraging, or we must encourage governments, our Honorable Minister, to prioritize root and tuber crops in national policies, strategies, and budgets. So not just having them in the strategies, but really dedicating investments to help unlock the potential of these crops for the future. We must also rally our funders and investors to scale up the proven innovations. So there's a lot of innovations. We talk about the purple flesh sweet potato, orange flesh sweet potato, a lot of innovations in the seed systems. They are available. If only we can scale those up, we can already begin to move something before we even come up with new innovations. So the scaling part is very, very important, and we need to really dedicate time but also investment to do that. We must also welcome our private sector to co-develop market-driven solutions that can be sustained and scaled. So every conversation now I'm hearing is about the private sector being part of the solution. But I hope within this week we'll also be able to figure out how private sector can come into the potato and sweet potato sector to be part of the solution and to unlock what is really needed. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope this conference will be a catalyst for what needs to be done. Let it be a moment where we must invest in science, innovate boldly, and integrate our efforts across sectors, institutions, and borders. Together, we can transform the root and tuber crops sector, in particular potato, sweet potato, and other very vital root and tuber crops, into priority value chains and build food systems that are resilient, inclusive, and ready for the future. I really want to thank you and wish you a very happy conference this week. Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you so much. I refer to you as the Director General, but it's a country regional Director of SIP. Thank you so much for the submission. Honorable Minister, there are other entities that we work with seriously, and they may be inside here, including Biodiversity International, IITA, SEAT, Kabi International, IRI, AGRA, and the universities, and a number of these entities that we host them in the country and we work closely together. And if they're here, I thank them. They are very welcome. They should feel at home. Next in the program is a remarks from Copia, country representative. Please, you're welcome.
Honorable Minister for the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, distinguished delegates, esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is a great honor to be with you here today at the African Potato Association Conference. I stand before you on behalf of Dr. Cho Ilho, the Director for Copia Uganda Center. He unfortunately could not join us due to unknown official assignments that required his presence elsewhere. He, however, sends his heartfelt apologies and his best wishes for the success of this important gathering. My name is Madina Sherida, and I am proud to represent Dr. Cho and the entire team at Copia. We are deeply grateful to the organizers of this conference for the kind invitation extended to Copia, as this forum is a vital space for sharing knowledge, innovations, and strategies that are shaping the future of potato farming across the African continent. At Copia Uganda, our mission is rooted in partnership and innovation, with a primary goal to help overcome two persistent challenges that affect many smallholder farmers in Uganda, which are low agricultural productivity and insufficient household income. We believe that improved potato farming, when combined with the right technology, knowledge, and collaboration, can offer a powerful solution. In partnership with the National Agriculture Research Organization, NARO, especially Kachwekano and Rebitaba Zadis, we are working to develop and distribute clean, disease-free seed potatoes while also providing training in improved agronomic practices and also build infrastructure for sustainable seed systems. Our activities in these regions have shown promising results. Farmers are achieving better yields, reduced disease prevalence, and most importantly, seeing an increase in income. This is the kind of impact that motivates our work and reinforces our belief that innovation is only meaningful when it translates into tangible benefits for the communities on the ground. And it also reflects what can happen when science and solidarity go hand in hand. None of this would be possible without collaborations and strong partnerships. We are proud to work closely with the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, NARO, local governments, and the farming communities themselves. We also place great emphasis on capacity building for farmers to ensure that knowledge and progress continue beyond the life of any single project. As we look ahead, Copia Uganda remains committed to strengthening these collaborations and contributing to the broader goals of agriculture innovation and food security in Uganda. We recognize the importance of knowledge exchange, and we believe that together we can raise the profile of potatoes as one of the key drivers for rural development. We are truly grateful for this conference, which offers a valuable platform to share knowledge, build networks, and strengthen collaboration across borders. On behalf of Dr. Cho Ilho and the Copia Uganda Center, I once again extend our sincere appreciation for the opportunity to participate in this gathering. We look forward to continued engagement and partnership as we build a stronger, more resilient agriculture future for our continent. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for, again, rich contribution to the discussion of the day. Next, for the interest of time, next is to invite the World Food Program country representative and country director in Uganda, Mr. Marcus Piria. Please, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Honourable Minister of Agriculture, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My deep appreciation to the organisers for convening the conference, and sincere appreciation also goes to the APA leadership, distinguished researchers, policymakers, private sector actors, development partners, and delegates from across Africa and beyond. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to speak at this gathering of scientists and stakeholders, and I feel I need to own up to the fact that I'm not a potato expert, and I'm quite humbled to be surrounded by so many scientists and subject matter experts. But the potato, and the orange flesh sweet potato in particular, is very important in the World Food programming here in Uganda, and also in the healthy diets that we promote. Today I'm going to be talking on the theme of From Nutrition to Resilience, and two themes are both aligned with the conference theme and really very relevant. Fostering climate-smart cropping systems for sustainable sweet potato value chains in Uganda is crucial, given the country's reliance on rain-fed agriculture and the vulnerability of smallholder farmers to climate change impacts such as droughts and erratic rainfall. Sweet potato is a key staple crop, offering food security and nutrition, but its productivity is hampered by climate-related challenges and poor soil health. Across Africa, and particularly in the drylands of Uganda's Karamoja sub-region, WFP is challenged daily to move beyond our regular emergency response and build food systems that nourish and empower communities to be resilient and to endure. And today I'm just going to share briefly how we, in partnership with NARO and Andre Foods International, a Ugandan NGO, is advancing this vision through the introduction and scale-up of the production and utilization of the orange flesh sweet potato in Karamoja. I'm sure, as many of you are aware, Karamoja faces some of the highest rates of food insecurity and undernutrition in Uganda. Vitamin A deficiency, a silent but deadly crisis, remains widespread, contributing to child illness and mortality. At the same time, the region is at the front line of climate shocks, poor soil, limited market integration, and fragile livelihoods. For too long, humanitarian assistance has plugged the gaps through short-term solutions, and this is why WFP and our partners invested in sustainable, climate-smart solutions that nourish communities today and strengthen resilience tomorrow has really changed our approach to addressing these issues in Karamoja. The orange flesh sweet potato is more than just a crop. It's a tool for nutrition-sensitive agriculture, rich in beta-carotene, which, as we've heard, the body converts to vitamin A, essential for child growth, immunity, and survival. It's also drought-tolerant, fast-growing, and fits well into Karamoja's agroecological conditions. The orange flesh sweet potato also lends itself to multiple uses, not just as a human food, but also livestock feed and value-added products, offering both health and livelihood benefits. Just by way of an example, just 125 grams of OFSP can meet a child's daily vitamin A requirement. And it can be boiled, dried, mashed, or baked, so it's easily integrated into local diets. Since 2022, WFP, in partnership with NARO and AFI, has been scaling up the promotion of orange flesh sweet potato across 9 districts in Karamoja, working through a tripartite model that connects research, community outreach, and program delivery. And here's what we've achieved together over the last 3 years. We've established 5 seed multiplication centers in 5 districts, Nakapiripirit, Moroto, Kotido, Abim, and Karenga, and distributed 250 bags of clean planting materials. When it comes to capacity building, 110 extension staff, school agricultural clubs, and nearly 8,500 farmers, many of them women, have been trained in OFSP production, post-harvest handling, and utilization. By the end of last year, 2,130 acres of land had been planted with OFSP. It's absolutely critical and an integral part of our school feeding program in Karamoja, embedded into 80 school gardens and feeding programs, enhancing the nutritional value of school meals while building agricultural skills amongst the children. And when it comes to evidence building, WFP, NARO, and AFI jointly conducted an impact study reaching over 860 households and 25 schools. And the findings confirm that 85% of those households are now growing the OFSP, and dietary diversity has improved. Beyond nutrition, the orange flesh sweet potato is strengthening household resilience to food insecurity. That same impact study showed that over 90% of households reported seasonal food shortages in the last year. But those who were cultivating the orange flesh sweet potato were better able to bridge hunger gaps, especially during lean months. And it's also being combined with legumes like beans to boost protein intake, a holistic approach to food and nutrition security. So what have we learned so far? I think three key lessons stand out. Firstly, food systems transformation starts at the local level. By building capacity in schools and communities and supporting local seed entrepreneurs, we create pathways for self-reliance. Secondly, nutrition interventions must be integrated. The orange flesh sweet potato is not a standalone solution. It must be aligned with school feeding, climate resilience, and livelihoods programming. And finally, the multiplier is partnership. The success in Karamoja is the result of aligned efforts across government, research institutions, civil society, and NGO partners like AFI and the UN. So finally, to truly move from nutrition to resilience, we must scale and sustain. We call on you, policymakers, researchers, and development partners, to invest in decentralized seed systems and support smallholder seed multipliers, to integrate the orange flesh sweet potato into national school feeding programs, nutrition strategies, and climate-smart agriculture plans, and to support knowledge generation and dissemination, particularly in vulnerable regions like Karamoja, where innovation can truly be life-changing. I thank you very much, and I look forward to spending more time with you today. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for the remarks from the World Food Program. Before I proceed, NARO attaches 4 things in the governance of the organization. NARO attaches a lot of importance to science to be advanced. NARO also needs the representation of the farmer adequately. And then, of course, the human resource that the Director General has talked, and also compliance and accountability. And these are represented in our committees of council. And I see the chairperson of the Science Committee who has come. Please stand up for recognition, Dr. Wasige. And then we have the chairperson of the Users Committee who ensures that the farmers are adequately attended to, is also with us, Dr. Aweno Susan. Please rise up. And other chairpersons for human resources, if is around. Okay, please, you are welcome all. As I was seated, I was blessed by more guests from Nigeria. And Nigeria is one of the biggest economies in Africa. Please, you are welcome, feel at home. Yes, so now I take the opportunity to invite the country representative for FAO, Mr. Yages Beraki. Please come and address the people.
Morning. Your Excellency, Honorable Minister, Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, distinguished guests and participants of this important conference from Uganda, across Africa and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, all protocols are observed. On behalf of the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, it's both an honor and privilege to welcome you to the 2025 Africa's Potato Association Conference. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I extend my deepest appreciation to the government of Uganda and the Africa Potato Association for convening this critical platform, which has brought together a diverse array of stakeholders committed to championing the role of potatoes in Africa's food and nutrition security, economic development, and climate resilience. A special recognition goes also to the National Agricultural Research Organization, NARO, and the International Potato Center, whose dedication to advancing agricultural research and innovation continue to strengthen agri-food system across African continent. This conference theme aligns seamlessly with the FAO's strategic framework 2020-2031, which envisions the transformation of agri-food system into more efficient, inclusive, resilient, and sustainable models, promoting better production, better nutrition, better environment, and better life, while ensuring no one is left behind. Your Excellency, distinguished participants, FAO remains steadfast in its commitment to strengthening agri-food system across Africa, including here in Uganda. In the potato and sweet potato sectors, FAO's initiatives have focused on enhancing seed quality, equipping farmers with essential skills, and promoting climate-smart, nutrition-sensitive practices. Over the past several years, our support has laid the foundation for continued innovation and impact. During this conference, FAO will be proud to present some of its latest work on potato development across the Eastern Africa sub-region. These initiatives highlight the power of regional collaboration, knowledge exchange, and integrated programming in driving agricultural transformation. Across Africa, potatoes and sweet potatoes have proven to be engines of food security, income generation, and climate adaptation, offering resilient alternative to traditional staple crops. FAO stands alongside governments, researchers, and farmers, working collectively to strengthen seed system, scale up agroecological solutions, and build inclusive value chains, ensuring that no one left behind. Dear participants, ladies and gentlemen, let us make this week a moment of bold reflection and renewed commitment that could lead to actionable solutions that not only enhance the potato sector, but also advance our shared vision of a food secure, climate resilient, and thriving Africa. Your Excellency, FAO remains committed to working hand in hand with national institutions in Uganda, as well as regional and international partners, to contribute to the realization of national, regional, and global goals in food security, nutrition, and agricultural development. Thank you, and I wish you a successful and impactful conference.
Yes, thank you so much, the country representative FAO in Uganda. We are left with the one very, very important voice, and that is the voice of farmers. Before we get the voice from the farmer, I would want to also introduce the chairperson advisory committee of NACRE, if he's around, the chairperson advisory committee, NACRE, if he's around, and also the chairperson advisory committee of Kachwekano, if he's present, Kachwekano. Why I'm doing this, these two commodities are bred and nurtured through those two institutions, and we recognize the leadership at their institute level. Now I want to invite Madam Betty Muuma, a potato farmer, to really tell us what practically goes on with the two commodities.
Thank you very much. I'm Betty Muuma from Nachibungulia Parish, Busubo Zone, Bugulumbia Sub-County, Kamuli District. I'm a farmer. We started with farming as a business in Bugulumbia Sub-County, where we were trained to grow potatoes as food security and business. We learned about the additional values from sweet potato. As we went on, SIP and NARO selected us and trained us how to grow vines of sweet potato. Now we are vine producers. They gave us suckling house. I want to thank SIP for the suckling house where we produce the basic materials. I thank NARO for training us how to grow the vines, how to grow everything, because we put those vines in the wetlands. So they come and we practice together. We opened up an association of Buseko in Busoga. We sell vines in Buseko, and also we have our self-businesses of vines. Last year, we sold vines in Gulu. We sell to universities, to schools, and even to farmers. We sell basic materials. And this year, I sold 620 vines to Iowa University of Kamuli. I have my friends which we have come with. I have the secretary is here, Mr. Leta Richard. I have Tito. He's also a best farmer in our company. I'm very grateful for we farmers to have been called here to come and join you. Thank you very much. We are happy with that, and we have some challenges. The challenges we have is for irrigation systems. Because we plant the vines on hot season, we don't have irrigation machines. And next is transport. Because we grow in Busoga. So when transport is a problem. So if there is chance, maybe you will look upon it. Thank you very much. I'm Betty Muuma from Kamuli.
I still request the member representing the NARO Advisory Committee to rise up. Good. Because the farmer has talked very well about how NARO through NARO has worked closely, and SIP has worked closely with them and transforming their lives. So I recognize you for that also. Now, Honorable Minister, you will allow me, there is also a farmer from the highlands on this time potato, the other potato. This lady talked about the sweet potato mostly. From the potato, who would come quickly and also make a statement or share also a brief experience, please.
is by names of Charles Byarugaba, and he's the director of that enterprise.
Kandi chairperson wa Kigezi Greenhouse Owners Progressive Farmers Association.
And he also works as a chairperson of the Kigezi Greenhouse Farmers Association. And he's a farmer. He thanks God for having gathered all of us in good health into this conference.
Kandi nsima government ya Uganda munonga eyebemberwa kitinsayo kaguta Museveni ahabwo kugamba aha kintu cy'obworo kandi hamwe n'enjara kandi hamwe ubworo enjara kandi hamwe n'obutamanya.
And he is very thankful to the government of Uganda under the leadership of His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who continuously talks about addressing issues of poverty, hunger, and ignorance. In the past leadership, they were very bad off. So around 1998, when the president was in the lead, that's when they started reducing the levels of poverty, hunger, and ignorance. Allow him to sound big thanks to NARO, especially NARO Kachweka Nozadi. For them, they take it as a parent who has care and concern for his children. Because he has been able to train them, and has aided them to use NARO technologies in multiplying quality of seed potato.
Nishemererwa munonga okubereka ngu ahanyuma yo emondi omubukuza ahabwo bukene obutwabere twine emondi ekozire cyangwa ahabwo kuba ahabwe njara abantu nibaryaho kandi tushobora tugiye hamwe sente ngene waza kureba cyaro cyaitu hati habere hempinduka mpango ahabwa abantu kwejumba mukinge emondi.
He wants to express his gratitude because this interaction between the farmers and NARO has been able to use the potato as both food and a cash crop.
Nkatandika kwinge mundi 98 ahanyuma yo kwegesibwa NARO hamwe na International Potato Center kutwamazire kwega bati twatandika kwinge mundi no kuzikanyisa ikintu cyawa.
He started growing potatoes in 1998 under the training of NARO Kachweka Nozadi, and when they understood the technology they were being trained, they started growing, and they have been a very great transformation. Because there was inadequate supply of quality seed, he took up the role of multiplying quality seed. Around 2015, he was able to graduate into another class using the techniques that he was getting from Kachweka Nozadi. So he is able now to produce other generations of early seed, including growing plantlets that help him to produce mini tubers in the greenhouse. He is grateful to the embassy of the Kingdom of the Netherlands and the International Fertilizer Development Center, IFDC, because they supported them in the construction of greenhouses. They have been able to construct and erect operational 20 greenhouses in the entire Kigezi region.
kandi nk'uko muri kumenya ngo ni science erikora nega technologies ngenda kusima NARO munonga agokwe kiyanyegesize kikambasisa okukora ibintu bitari kubasha gukora ryo.
He is very thankful to NARO because the techniques that they trained him has been able to make him do what he couldn't have done.
Experience yanje okuhinga nintunga apprentice from the laboratory.
The way he advances his production, he accesses early generation seed in the form of planters from the Copia Uganda laboratory. He then produces them in screen houses, either using containers or packets. It takes 4 months for him to harvest mini tubers from those planters. He was able to harvest 18 mini tubers from a single plant. Then he multiplies these mini tubers into pre-basic seed in the open field. Then he gets what is called second generation seed or pre-basic seed. When he repeats the growing, then he gets a third generation which is called the basic seed. Which is basic seed. Then he distributes that to the other farmers because he couldn't multiply again because of the shortage of land. Then he gives that seed to other seed multipliers. Then who multiplies and supplies to the farmers of Weya potato. So as potato farmers, they are very happy because they get income for other. So in Chigezi, potato now is their cash crop. Thank you very much. His home is located in Nyabimba Village, Katenga Parish, Kamugangu Sub-County in Kabale District. Because of time, thank you for listening to him.
Yes, Honorable Minister, when I was at Abidjan Agricultural Research and Development Institute, I would order seed from the farmers of Kabale to support the farmers in Zombo. So what he's saying here is that they get the seed from Gachwekano, the one from the tissue culture that is clean, multiply it, not only for farmers in that region, but also for the farmers in the highlands of Zombo and the highlands of Elgon Mountains. So they are doing that for the country. We thank them. I want to summarize the following, then I invite the president of the African Potato Association to welcome the chief guest. All that has been talked here, picked it about 12 points, and 4 or 5 of them are for research, that we need to develop market-driven solutions to drive the 2 value chains, that this commodity is very important for food security and nutrition. It means we should continue the enhancement of the nutritional components of these technologies. 3, the need to invest in science and innovation has been emphasized, and our country is already doing that fairly well. And then the need to invest in resilient technologies in the advent of climate change has been emphasized. And then the need to strengthen collaborations, networks, and partnerships has been emphasized. Knowledge sharing within and across the continent has been emphasized. And then potato as an important diet for people like in the disadvantaged areas like Karamoja has been emphasized by FAO. FAO, we thank you and World Food Program for doing work for those friends of ours down there. And then the need to continue investing in climate resilient solutions has been emphasized. The promotion of nutritious varieties, again in the advanced areas, has been emphasized. The strengthening of the agri-food systems has been emphasized. The need for food secure and food self-sufficient continent has been emphasized. And above all, the Honorable Minister, is the issue of the strengthening of the seed systems. We have made some good strides in the seed system for grains. We are at infant stages for strengthening the food system for the vegetatively propagated crops. And this last farmer was talking to it, the importance of strengthening that seed system. So with this, and of course irrigation has been mentioned, and that one you have been keen on it, you have been already doing it. You can now I invite the President.
President of the African Potato Association, who is our own Dr. Baguma, the Director General of NARO, the Regional Director of the International Potato Center, the Copia country representative, the World Food country representative in Uganda, the FAO country representative in Uganda, esteemed delegates from the participating countries, scientists, development partners, farmer representatives and organizations, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to Uganda and feel at home. Uganda is called the Pearl of Africa. It's not just by word, it's by what we are. So you feel at home and you can stay a little bit more days. Taste the potato, don't just talk about it. Move around and see the ecosystem the potato and other crops grow in. It's my great honor and pleasure to welcome you all, especially our esteemed delegates from across Africa and beyond, to the Pearl of Africa. On behalf of His Excellency the President, and particularly the Vice President who has to open whom I'm representing, and the people of Uganda, I extend our heartfelt appreciation for your presence at the 13th African Potato Association Conference. Your participation underscores the shared commitment of our nations to advancing food security, agriculture innovation, and economic integration across the continent. We are delighted to host you and we trust that you will find both the discussions and your stay in Uganda enriching and memorable. This conference comes at a time when the world is urgently seeking climate resilient, nutritious and economically viable crops to ensure food and income security. In this regard, the potato and sweet potato are more than just crops. They are strategic assets in Africa's agricultural transformation agenda. Uganda is proud to play a pivotal role with an annual production of approximately 1.8 metric tons of sweet potato, which ranks us among Africa's leading producers. Sweet potato is now the third most important crop in Uganda after cassava and bananas. Grown predominantly in highland zones between 1,000 and 2,000 meters above sea level, especially in the regions surrounding Lake Victoria, the crop serves as a critical food security buffer for millions of households. I want to really thank the scientists and leaders for your energy in sustaining our food systems. On the potato front, Uganda is the third largest producer in East Africa, with an annual output of over 162,000 metric tons. This production, however, bears even greater potential. with 55,412 metric tons currently exported to neighboring countries and 30,501 metric tons imported, mainly for table consumption, we clearly have an opportunity to strengthen our domestic production. Quality standards and processes must meet both local and regional demand. As we all know, urbanization and population growth rapidly changing dietary patterns. Demand for processed products such as chips and crisps is rising sharply, opening a vital door for investment in value addition. Yet the sector continues to face challenges of limited access to high-quality seed, modern farming tools, post-harvest handling technologies, and agro-processing infrastructure continue to suppress farmer incomes and constrain industry scaling. As government, we have identified these areas, and indeed, our production only. You must follow it through the value chain. That's how you increase more jobs for the various players. Uganda's journey to improve the potato value chain has been deeply anchored in research. The National Agricultural Research Organization, NARO, through its various public research institutes, like the Kachakano you've been hearing, has made significant advancements in potato breeding, in agronomy, and disease control. And I want to salute the scientists for the work well done. Uganda continues to release several high-yielding and disease-resistant varieties tailored for different agroecological zones. These include varieties that mature faster, they're more drought-tolerant, and meet quality standards required by the processing industry. Research on seed systems, on pest and disease diagnostics, and on climate-smart practices continue to provide farmers with science-backed solutions to increase productivity and profitability. And I'm happy to hear the farmer testimonies by people from Kamuli, the farmer from Kamuli and Kigezi. The progress would not have been possible without the government's unwavering support for science-led solutions. Let me take this moment to commend our leader, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for his visionary leadership and strong support for homegrown science-led innovation in tackling challenges across all sectors. He has been emphatic and an advocate on empowering our scientists and investing in national research capacity, which is today bearing fruit across various sectors, including agriculture. We have deliberately, as a government, prioritized scientific research, and the scientists know that despite some few other areas, they still lack deliberate enhancement of their welfare, of their tools of work have been invested in. We are cognizant of the need to improve seed systems, expand storage infrastructure, and establish efficient marketing mechanisms, which are aimed at reducing post-harvest losses, stabilizing prices, and boosting rural livelihoods. To address the multifaceted challenges facing the potato and sweet potato value chains, strategic government-supported programs have been pivotal. Initiatives such as the Innovating the Uganda Potato Value Chain, Uganda Multi-Sectoral Food Security and Nutrition Project, and Enhancing Value Addition of Potato Sorghum Enterprises for Improved Livelihoods in Uganda, among others, are addressing critical elements of increasing productivity, nutrition and value addition to potato and sweet potatoes. Notably, these value chain development projects are creating market linkages, they are building capacity among players, and catalyzing private sector engagement, thereby transforming potato and sweet potato farming from subsistence to commercial enterprises. You just heard somebody here, I think it's Madam Betty from Kamuli, confessing they grow potato, even Kabare, Mzee from Kabare. Mzee means an old man. So I hope people from Southern Africa, in your languages, you have a word, Mzee. Mzee is a Swahili word, which means an old person, or somebody of respect. So that's Swahili, and Swahili is the language for East Africa. So people from Southern Africa, put up your hands. Southern, not South Africa, Southern, the entire Southern Africa. So you go and check an equivalent for Musei. I'm sure it could be linked to that word. It could be linked. Some words are linked certainly, especially those with Bantu linkages. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for participating in this conference. I want to appeal to you that at the end of the conference, please categorize your final. First of all, this conference is 5 days. It tells you that you're going to have some serious inputs in groups, I guess, in panel discussions, in presentations and discussions. Kindly categorize, like Dr. Kasim said, the takeaways and distribute them to the different players, stakeholders. The takeaways for research, categorize them as such. The takeaways for policy making and reform, categorize them as such, and pass them on to us, the policy makers. That has been one of the weak areas of scientists. You do a lot of work in your laboratories, in your incubation rooms, and you remain with them. We never get to know them as policy makers. We must go to speak to our policy makers, our legislators, the different committees of parliament that handle agriculture, that handle natural resources, that handle climate change, must understand the importance of food systems and the importance of research. So when you finish at the end of your 5 days, please, the rapporteurs of the Secretariat, categorize your takeaway points, and let's agree on how we'll make sure they get disseminated to the right category of decision makers. So it is my honor now, looking at the theme of this conference, which is fostering climate smart cropping systems for sustainable potato and potato value chains. The theme fits very well within prevailing agricultural conditions. There has probably not been a better time to confront the realities of climate change, population growth, and shrinking arable land than now. These two crops offer scalable solutions for nutrition, for income generation, and environmental sustainability. It's therefore imperative that we as governments, the private sector, research institutions, and development partners prioritize investment in these crops. Let us scale up innovations, support the value chain actors, and facilitate intra-African trade in root and tuber crops. Again, in helping us achieve this as a continent, I want once again to the call by our President for regional integration and intra-African trade as key drivers for agricultural transformation. Trading with one another is not only for the commercial value. This is how we shall achieve the recent targets of CADAP, of eliminating hunger on the continent. How do we achieve zero hunger? Transferring food from one part of the continent where there is surplus to the other part of the continent where there is scarcity. So that's how the Continental Free Trade Organization or Association will make sense. We shall trade with one another, support each other economically and transform our economies, but also eliminate hunger through equitable distribution of our food within ourselves. It makes no sense, one part of the continent, food is in surplus and having no market, and the other part, people are starving because of the trade bottlenecks, either trade barriers or even non-trade barriers in form of levies or in form of connectivity. So these are the issues I was telling you. Let's speak out. These may not be for you scientists. The scientists are really, you will talk about greenhouses and make sure the ecosystem is right. But tackling these bottlenecks require the involvement of the policymakers. They require the attention of the heads of state. how do we make sure that we balance our food trade for economic prosperity, but also for achieving zero hunger? How do you move food from the surplus zone to the deficit zone? This is something we must discuss in our parliaments. In conclusion, as we open this important conference today, I am confident that the deliberations, the innovations and partnerships forged here will catalyze a new era of productivity, profitability and resilience for Africa's potato and sweet potato actors. I now declare the 13th African Potato Association Conference officially open. For God and my country, and thank you for listening to me.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, the Chief Guest, for a very comprehensive speech that has guided the team that will remain behind for the next 4 days, including the Vis to Kabale and Nakuri. Thank you so much for that guidance. The next item in the program, I will be inviting now the head of communication at NARO, who is the master of ceremony, to lead us into that. I want to stop here. I thank you so much for God and my country.
Okay.
Honourable Minister, before you go, we have a small ceremony to perform. Christine, please bring those items of appreciation. I request the president of the association, right there, sir, on the podium.
I am going to cabinet, and I will tell them about the potato conference. So you should. It's in your interest to release me.
Honourable Minister, we are handing you a token of appreciation to deliver to the High Excellency the Vice President for our contribution. Can we also have the one for the Honourable Minister? Please bring it. We also have an appreciation for you, Honourable Minister. Minister's team, please come to the front, kindly. Here. Okay, hand over to Honourable Minister, his token of appreciation for his contribution. A round of applause. Members, the Honourable Minister has been a very strong advocate of the agriculture sector. Let's give him a round of applause. I'd like to thank you so much for all that you do for the sector and how we are moving it. Honourable Minister, before you go, we are going to have a group photo outside. But allow us to hand over some plaques to the other partners. Okay, we shall do the handover after the group photo. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the group photo. Please, team protocol, guide the team to the photo venue. When we return, please, you'll pick a cup of tea as we return. Let's go for the group photo for now.